We've got college football conference championship games this weekend, starting tonight, Boise State, UNLV, and then tomorrow we've got all four of the Power Four conference championship games, and I want to talk about all of them, give out picks, do all that fun stuff. What's going on? My name's Jonathan Smith. Thank you for checking out my YouTube channel, Shooting the Schmidt. Let's start with the Big 12 championship game, Iowa State, Arizona State. This championship game is known to me as the participation trophy championship because whoever wins this game is likely going to be the 12th seed in the college football playoff, and then they're going to play the 5 seed, who will likely be, Notre Dame, Penn State, Oregon, Texas, somebody like that. And look, Arizona State and Iowa State are both awesome stories. Like, let's take Arizona State. They went 3-9 last year. This year, they went 10-2. Like, that is an awesome turnaround. They are one of the best stories in college football this year. It tells you the importance of hiring a good coach and what a good coach can do for you. And then you've got Iowa State, coached by Matt Campbell, a guy who was the hottest name in college football head coaching searches like 5 years ago. He decides to stay. He's like, no, I like being here at Iowa State. And this year is the first year in his career that he has won double-digit games in the regular season. Okay, he also now has a chance, and Iowa State as well. Also, Iowa State's first time ever winning 10 games in a regular season in their 133-year history. Like I said, both teams, great stories. Now, Iowa State has this opportunity to win the Big 12 title game for the first time in their history. They've never done it. They lost in 2020 to Oklahoma. This is their first time back since. So both of these teams are awesome stories. But neither one of them appear to be in the top 12. Like neither one of them look to be one of the 12 best teams in college football. Okay, look, they're good because you have to be good to win 10 games. But they both lost to Texas Tech, who was decent this year, right? They finished at 8-4, and then they both have a loss to a 5-7 team. Arizona State lost to 5-7 Cincinnati. Iowa State lost to 5-7 Kansas, who kind of figured it out late, just to give Iowa State the benefit of the doubt. But let's just be honest: whoever they draw in that first round, in that 5-12 matchup, they're going to be greatly outmatched. They are. Like, they will be the biggest underdog in the first round of the college football playoff. That's what I'm expecting for the winner of this game to be. Whoever wins, it will continue to be a great story, but they'll get beaten in the first round by whoever ends up being the 5 seed. With that being said, for my pick for this game, I'm going to take Arizona State to win, and I'm going to take Arizona State minus 2.5. I just trust them a little bit more. Really like their head coach. So I'm going to go with them. Next, we've got the SEC championship game happening at 4 o'clock. This is known to me as the Prove It championship game because everyone realizes, or I think knows, that Georgia and Texas are two of the best teams in the country. I don't think that there's any dispute over that statement. But they both still have questions that need to be answered. Texas's best win is against Texas A&M. The reason why they're ranked second in the country isn't because of their resume. They don't have a single win against a ranked opponent this year. The reason why they're ranked number 2 in the country is because of the eye test. It's because we just are kind of assuming that they're going to be good because they made the college football playoff last year and they've got a lot of returners from that team. There are some assumptions about this team, which I don't really have an issue with because if you've watched them play, then you know that they're really good. Like, you know it pretty clearly. Like, just watch them play, right? They're uber talented, they recruit well, guys transfer in, all those things. But the one tough game that they played this year was at home against Georgia, and they got blown out 30-15. It was so bad that they had to take Quinn Ewers out for a couple possessions just to let him catch his breath, And so Texas is clearly talented, but talent doesn't always equal wins. Like, that's just not the way that things work. Like, you have to have something a little extra to beat good teams. And they're going to have a chance on Saturday, tomorrow night, or tomorrow evening, to play Georgia in Atlanta, so essentially a home game for Georgia. They're going to have an opportunity to play them, and see how it goes. They have an opportunity to prove that they can beat some of the better teams in the country. For Georgia, there are questions about their consistency. Right, we saw them dominate Texas and Clemson and Tennessee, but we also saw them lose to Alabama after getting crushed in the first half. We saw them lose to Ole Miss. We saw them narrowly beat Georgia Tech and Kentucky. And then, so yeah, like they have questions to be answered. And all their losses and all the games that they've struggled in, they all have the same denominator: Carson Beck struggling. Okay, when Carson Beck plays well, I really think that Georgia's the best team in the country. The issue is that Carson Beck never seems to play well. Georgia, at their best, is the best team in college football. But Carson Beck isn't capable, or doesn't appear to be capable, of playing at his best. When he plays at his best, Georgia is really tough to beat. Just go back to that game against Tennessee. Right? Look, if Georgia scores 30 points, they're probably going to win because that defense is still one of the best in the country, even if it's not as good as it was in years past. With that being said, I'm going to take Texas minus 2.5. They were really impressive against A&M, especially on defense. I mean, didn't give up an offensive touchdown. It was incredibly impressive. And because of that, I just don't think Georgia's going to find the rhythm that they need on offense to beat Texas. Next game, at the ACC championship game. This game is known to me as the right to party championship game because you got to fight for your right to party. And the winner of this game is going to go to the college football playoff, and the loser will be left out. I do think that the committee will leave out SMU if they lose. And this game is interesting. We don't really know a lot about either team, which is very weird to say after watching a full 12-game season because neither team has played anyone good. That's just the reality of it. SMU, when you look at their schedule, 6 of their 8 conference games, they won 6 of them. Or they won all of them, excuse me. They played and beat 6 of the bottom 8 ACC teams this year. Their 2 conference wins came against Louisville and Duke, who both finished 8-4 overall, 5-3 in the conference. So, sure, the 8-0 in the ACC is awesome, great, but their schedule wasn't tough. Like, they didn't play Syracuse, they didn't play Miami, they didn't play Clemson. And so it's kind of tough to judge them. And to their credit, like they've crushed the bad teams. Like that's great. But the only ranked team that they've played this year is BYU, and they lost 18-15. And look, I want to like SMU. I think they're fun. This Jennings kid at quarterback is good. I think Rhett Lashley putting him in is like it's a crazy move. Like that's not a move that most coaches make. They'd have ridden with the guy from last year who played really well. SMU didn't, and it's paid off for them. But I just haven't seen them do enough to really believe in them, and they have an opportunity to prove that they're a good team on Saturday night when they play Clemson. And then you got Clemson, whose resume is really similar. Clemson beat the crap out of 6 of the bottom 8 ACC teams this year, just like SMU did. And just like SMU, Clemson lost to the ranked teams that they played this year. Okay, they lost to Georgia in week 1, and then they lost to South Carolina most recently. And then in addition to that, they lost to Louisville. Okay, neither team has really proven that they're elite in any way, shape, or form. And I honestly don't like that the winner of this game is going to have a chance at a national title. Same goes for the Big 12. But this is the reality of the 12-team playoff. If you win your conference, you get a shot, which is a fair precedent to have. But look, someone's going to grab their first ranked win of the year. I'm going to guess that it's going to be Clemson. I'm going to take them plus 2.5. I just think that they're more talented. Probably sprinkle a little bit on the money line for that game as well. So I like Clemson there plus 2.5. And then you got the Mountain West, UNLV versus Boise State. This is the winner-take-all championship, very similar to the ACC championship. Whoever wins this game is in. Whoever loses is out. I'll be honest, this is the only non-Power 4 conference championship game that I am going to watch. I'm excited to watch Ashton Jeanty. I'm excited to watch UNLV. They played earlier in the year. Boise State beat them. UNLV revenge game. All that kind of stuff is on the table. Both teams have been in the media a lot this year. Obviously, Ashton Jeanty is making the push for the Heisman. Shouldn't be him. It should be Travis Hunter. And then UNLV had their issue with their quarterback transferring in the middle of the year, and saying he didn't get paid, and the union was like, no, we paid him, and all that fun stuff. And so both have been in the media quite a bit. Both teams are good. They're both ranked. Obviously, Boise State ranked 10th, which is absurd. And then you've got UNLV, who's ranked 20th. And it's a big game. Like, it's going to be nice to watch what should be the best non-power four conference championship game really have something on the line. Like, an opportunity to go and compete for a national title is on the line in this game, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, these two teams already played once this year. Boise State won that game pretty, I wouldn't say handily. The game was close, and then they kind of pulled away late. So we'll see. I'm very intrigued for that game. I'm going to take Boise State to win and cover. I did not write down the line on that, which is a bummer, and I don't have my phone. So we're taking Boise State to actually no we're not. No, we're not. Let's get spicy. We're going to take UNLV on the money line. UNLV beats Boise State straight up. That's the big upset that we see tomorrow. And then, to kind of close out the video, I think that this is more proof that the college football playoff format is dumb. Like, I haven't talked much about automatic buys, but I think that the way that they're giving out buys is dumb. The fact that Boise State is either going to get a first-round bye or be out of the playoff entirely is proof that that's dumb. Like, I don't mind the idea that if you win your conference championship, you get into the college football playoff. That makes sense. That is a good rule. I don't even mind it for the top-ranked group of 5 school, but giving all the conference champions or the top 4 conference champions a bye is a step too far. Like, teams like SMU and Boise State being in positions where they'll make the playoff and have a bye week with a win or be out of the playoff entirely doesn't make any sense. Okay, the top 4 ranked teams at the end of the year should get the bye week. Okay, because as of right now, when you look at the college football playoff and how all this is going to work out, the paths to the championship game, you don't want to be the 1 seed. You want to be the 5 seed. And that just shouldn't be the case. Everyone should be fighting for that number 1 overall seed, but with the way that it's set up, I mean, look, if you're the 1 seed, you're going to have a bye week and then play Ohio State or Tennessee. That's the way that it appears. But if you're the 5 seed, you're going to play, Arizona State or Iowa State, maybe UNLV if I wind up being right and they win. Or excuse me, and then after that, you're going to play the 4 seed, which is Boise State. I would rather not have the bye week and, play Arizona State or Iowa State and then beat Boise State and then play whoever in the semis. I would rather do that than be the 1 seed and have to beat, have to beat the winner of Ohio State and Tennessee. So just make it set up where it's the top 4 ranked teams. That way, whoever the 5th seed is doesn't have this huge advantage that should go to the number 1 overall seed. That is the biggest switch I would like to see the College Football Playoff Committee make going from this year into next year. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be back again on Monday with another one, probably talking about these college football conference championship games, probably a little bit of NFL stuff as well. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch the video. I will talk to you again on Monday. Have a nice weekend.